I'm told we're the only pre-discovery exploration company listed on the NYSE American. The symbol is AUST. And we have a very experienced team with a proven track record of exploration, discovery, mine finance, mine development, ESG, and mine operations. We have projects with district scale potential located in favorable geologic settings for discovery. We're about 20 miles east of the Carlin Trend and about 10 miles south of the Jerritt Canyon Independence Trend. The Carlin Trend is the largest concentration of gold deposits in North America, and is this district is one of the richest gold districts in the world. There's only 13.7 million shares outstanding, so the company's already very small in capital size, and then management owns 40% of that, or just under 40%. So that means the float is of course very small, and you can imagine if we have a $1 billion discovery on any of our projects, the reward would be very significant, obviously.
Good day. This is Steve Yang with Natural Resource Stocks. I have Denis Higgs, Executive Chairman and CEO from Austin Gold Corp. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Awesome. Well, Denis, if you can tell us a little bit about you, and if you can tell us what Austin Gold Corp is all about.
Sure. So Austin Gold Corp is a gold exploration company focused in the southwestern United States, currently Nevada and Oregon. I'm told we're the only pre-discovery exploration company listed on the NYSE American. The symbol is AUST. And we have a very experienced team with a proven track record of exploration, discovery, mine finance, mine development, ESG, and mine operations. We have projects with district scale potential located in favorable geologic settings for discovery. And we have a very tight capital structure, and we're currently we are funded. So that's in a nutshell, but I think we probably want to discuss more detail than that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll hit all those points. If you can, let's start with the projects you have. If you can tell us about your flagship and then your jurisdiction, and you mentioned favorable geographical areas. If you can tell us what that means.
Sure. So we have 3 projects currently. We have 1 in Oregon and 2 in Nevada. And the project in Nevada is our flagship. It's called Lone Mountain Project. It's located in one of the richest gold districts in the world. We're about 20 miles east of the Carlin Trend and about 10 miles south of the Jerritt Canyon Independence Trend. The Carlin Trend is the largest concentration of gold deposits in North America, and this district is one of the richest gold districts in the world. Do you want me to go in detail this time? Do you want me to?
Yeah, that's good.
Sure. So Lone Mountain, I mentioned the Carlin district being rich. It's about 100 million ounces of gold have been mined in the Carlin district to date, and about 9 million ounces have been mined in the Jerritt Canyon district. And as I've mentioned, we're about 20 miles. Lone Mountain is about 20 miles east of Carlin and about 10 miles south of Jerritt Canyon. So to give you an idea, I'll discuss very briefly and hopefully simply some geology, the geology of the area. In this part of Nevada, you've got the upper plate rocks sitting on top of the lower plate rocks. And where you get erosion of the upper plate, it exposes the lower plate, and it's called a lower plate window. And all of the deposits in the Carlin district, as well as in the Jerritt Canyon, were discovered in these lower plate windows or proximal to them. And there's only about a dozen of these lower plate windows in this part of Nevada. And we have the next lower plate window in this series of windows. So that's very important. So we have the right geology, we have the right rocks that are hosting all these big Carlin deposits and Jerritt Canyon deposits. And we have the window. So What makes it also important is, and why this project is available to us, is because it's been held by one family for over 60 years. And so it's arguably underexplored. And the family member a member of the family that currently owns the project is actually a personal friend and a business associate. So that's how we came upon the project. So that's Lone Mountain. Has all the favorable characteristics found at the nearby Carlin deposits are in place at a Lone Mountain project in Nevada. In Oregon, we have the Stockade Mountain project. An easy way to describe this, it's, give me one sec. The way to describe this is it's a classic textbook, large gold and silver bearing epithermal vein system with district scale potential. What we have here is what's called a stockwork system. And the way to describe that geologically is if you have a rock hits the windshield, that windshield shatters. And all those veinlets, all those shattered cracks carry gold. That's what we have at Stockade Mountain. Near the surface, you have the stockwork system where all these veinlets carry gold. But what we're looking for there, and which has not yet been found, is the feeder system that fed those veinlets, where the rock hit that windshield, if you will. This project has had three major mining companies drill it in the past. There was BHP, Phelps Dodge, and Placer Dome. They all drilled this project, but they drilled shallow holes because they were looking for open pit bulk tonnage type potential, which it looked like they found. But Oregon, back in the 1990s, decided they were not going to allow open pit mining. So they walked away and did not drill any deeper holes looking for the potential feeder system. So the project was dormant for 20 some odd years. And now we have the project. We've drilled 3 holes last year. And we drilled into the veinlets. Got very significant grades between 8 and 9 grams, a little over 9 grams, over 2.5 to 4 feet in thickness. But again, that's those veinlets, and we're looking for the feeder system that fed those veinlets. So that's what we have at Stockade Mountain. So both Stockade Mountain and Lone Mountain have district scale potential. By district scale, I mean they have very, very large potential. Stockade Mountain is 10 square miles in area, and Lone Mountain in Nevada is 26, over 26 square miles. So these are big, big projects with very large potential. So that in a nutshell is our projects. We have also one more project in Nevada, but I won't go into the detail on that. It's lower priority for us at this time.
Do you, I mean, investors are interested. I mean, you got several different projects here. You guys are 100% gold. I mean, mostly gold project. I mean, are you primarily gold, or are you also other things as well? And then we want to know how many ounces, what the grade is. I mean, what do you guys think you have?
Sure. So we haven't done enough work to determine what we have in either of these two projects. To answer your first question, it's mainly gold. The project at Stockade Mountain in Oregon also has silver potential, but it's mainly gold. Um, what do we think we have? Well, all of these projects have multi-million ounce potential. I mentioned district scale. These projects, the Stockade Mountain, Oregon, is similar to several other operations, mining operations in Nevada. National Midas, which was owned by Newmont at one time, is one of their most profitable mines. That turned out to be 3 million ounces. There's this exact model of deposit. There's one in Japan that's 10 million ounces and runs as high as 2 ounces gold per ton. So these can be very big and very rich type of deposits. And then at Lone Mountain, I mentioned we're in the richest gold district in the world, one of them, I should say. And Carlin District, you've got underground operations there that are very, very rich. Meikle Mine, for example, a very rich deposit currently mined underground. But you've also got in Carlin some very large open pit type deposits. And we have, of course, potential for either of those types of deposits at Lone Mountain. So very large potential. But again, we are the only pre-discovery resource company listed on the NYSE American, and so I'm told. And we're actually told this by an independent group that we're asked to review every couple, 3 years. You need to review your remuneration. It's a requirement. And the group that did the review had to put some peer companies together and came to us and said, you don't have any peers that are listed on the NYSE American. Most other companies listed there in the resource sector, mining sector, already have a resource, are developing a resource, and so on. We do not yet have a resource, which I think is what provides the opportunity for the very significant returns that occur when a discovery is made. We are exploration looking for that big discovery.
Dennis, how far are you guys from production, permitting wise? Like, what's kind of the timeline? What milestones can we look for?
Sure. So milestones, next milestone will likely be a 43-101 report on the Lone Mountain project. That report is being prepared right now. But again, I can't tell you grade or size of deposit, when we might be mining. We're exploration. We need to have that discovery first where we find it. And to be quite blunt, especially in the Carlin district, if we have a discovery there, it's very likely that one of the other mining companies in the area would take us over. The two of the largest gold mining companies in the world have combined their operations down there. That was Barrick and Newmont, and put their operations together. I think it was in 2019, and that is now the largest gold producing company, if you will, is the Nevada Gold Mines, which is the joint venture between Barrick and Newmont. So they're only just a few miles down the road. So if we have a discovery at Lone Mountain, it's very likely they would want to make that acquisition because they've got all the infrastructure to develop it.
Dennis, you mentioned favorable geographical area, team, and capital structure. Let's go to the team real quick. And if you can tell me kind of a little bit about your background and just kind of the team that you have around you that would make your company successful in this area.
Sure. So very briefly, my background, I've been involved in the venture capital, I guess, if you will, building these companies since I took my first company public in 1984. I get involved in building the companies. I start them, I build them. I've had four of my companies that have been subject to takeover bids. And of course, as is typical in a takeover bid, it's usually very rewarding for all shareholders. But the Austin Board of Directors have been involved in the building of $3 billion plus mining companies. Silver Standard, which is now called SSRM, SSR Mining. SSRM is the symbol, and it's got about a $5 billion market cap currently. Pretium Resources, which was taken over by Newcrest at 2.8 billion, and two of us are directors of Energy Fuels, which currently has a just under a $6 billion market cap. So we've got a very experienced team. They have every segment of the mining industry experience in every segment. And we also have two economic geologists on our advisory board. And in their careers, they've discovered over 1 billion ounces of silver and over 10 million ounces of gold so far for other companies. So our goal, of course, with Austin Gold is to emulate the success of past management and directors.
Speaking of management and directors, I believe that last time I checked, they own about 39.6% of the outstanding shares. I think that makes the float significantly smaller, but if you can tell us about how many shares outstanding and how much is held by insiders, institutions, and if you can share about any major investors or other companies.
Sure. So major investors and management directors are the same. We own about 40, just under 40% of the company. Steve, you're correct. There's only 13.7 million shares outstanding. So the company's already very small in capital size, and then management owns 40% of that, or just under 40%. So that means the float is of course very small, and you can imagine if we have a $1 billion discovery on any of our projects, we reward would be very significant, obviously. So yeah, we've got a very tight capital structure. Fully diluted is just under 17 million shares. And we did our initial public offering back in May of 2022, and we have not had to go back to market since. We're funded currently a little over $4 million in our treasury, but very tight capital structure.
Dennis, what's your current cash position and equivalents, and what's the plan to grow the company from here?
Sure. So current cash position is about a little over $4 million currently. We only did a $15 million IPO. At some point, obviously, when we get into some of the heavier drill campaigns, these drilling campaigns can be, in the millions of dollars. Then we will look to probably fund at that time. But currently, we've got about $4 million in the treasury. The next event, there's a couple things that are brewing in the background. I can't mention, obviously, we haven't disclosed them yet, so, but that'll be some things hopefully in the next quarter or two. We'll get some exciting news out. But something that I can mention is that at some point we'll have a 43-101 report on our Lone Mountain project, which I think will be significant as well.
Dennis, I know that investors are interested in companies that can provide upside either on the right side of the Lassonde curve or, just companies that are maybe undervalued, finding value plays. Let's say an investor is interested in gold and wants to know which gold company. I guess the question for you that all the listeners and investors are interested in is why Austin Gold?
Sure. So good question. So very briefly, you mentioned the Lassonde curve. So the Lassonde curve is a chart that describes a company's share price, if you will, starting from a mining company from the start of exploration through to the various phases through exploration, discovery, feasibility of that discovery, development of that discovery, permitting of that discovery, and ultimately production. And you can Google Lassonde curve. Pierre Lassonde was one of the founders of Franco, Nevada, and he put this chart together 30 some odd years ago. And it's a good, accurate description. Basically, you have exploration where your share price might go up and down, depending upon what results you're getting along the way. But if you have a major discovery, then the share price typically goes up exponentially, depending upon, of course, what that discovery looks like. But we've witnessed companies' share price go 10, 20, 30, 40 times, from the exploration start to through the discovery phase. And then very typically after discovery, you start getting into feasibility and permitting and development of that discovery. The share price tends to decline because it's a boring time for the market, if you will, when the share price is not going to react to exciting news about a feasibility study or a permitting process that might be 2 or 3, 4, 5 years or more. And ultimately, then once you start production, typically the share price recovers and rewards its shareholders again. So the Lassonde curve describes that. Where we feel we've placed Austin Gold, of course, is at the discovery phase or just before the discovery phase is what we're hoping. All of our projects have had previous exploration that indicate there's potential for a very, very significant multi-billion-dollar discovery potentially. And so we need to then go out and complete the surface work we're doing now and then go out and drill and see if we can have that discovery. We are doing surface work on both of our projects, both of our key projects, the Stockade Mountain. We are doing a geophysical program that will hopefully give us a better view of what the structures look like at depth and give us a better idea where to target our drilling. And at Lone Mountain, it's a very large project area. It's 26.5 square miles at Lone Mountain. So we've done a detailed geochem soil sampling program. We took over 2,000 samples You put it on a grid and shows your various elements and in the soils, and we've got very strong anomalies of including gold, of course, but antimony, arsenic, thallium, and these are all the right pathfinders for these big gold deposits that have been discovered years ago at up in the Carlin district, just to the west of us. So we've done the surface work at Lone Mountain. That includes soil geochem. We've done gravity survey, which is a geophysical program that gives you an idea of possible structures. And we've had a geologist out in the field pretty much continuously all summer doing his geologic mapping and rock chip sampling. So we're doing all the surface work now to refine our targets. And then the next important step, of course, is to go out and drill. And that's potentially when you have a discovery, if there's one to be had.
Well, Dennis, thanks for giving us the time to learn about Austin Gold Corp. I want to provide disclaimer disclosure that natural resource stocks and myself, we are not current investors of Austin Gold Corp, although that may change at a future time. Dennis and Austin has not paid for this interview. And if you are interested in learning more about Austin Gold Corp, if you Dennis, can share your website, your email, or how people can get a hold of you if they have questions, how they can follow you, and then lastly, if you can provide where you're trading and your ticker symbol.
Sure. So lots of questions there. In a nutshell, the website is www.austin.gold. When I say that to people, they say austin.gold.com. No, there's no .com. It's austin.gold. And Austin, of course, spelled the same as Austin, Texas. We're listed on the NYSE American. Our symbol is AUST. Simple way to remember the symbol is AU is the symbol for gold, and ST is the symbol for street. I could say our symbol is Gold Street, if that helps you remember it. What other questions did you have, Steve?
Website as well as email,
How to get a hold
how
of
people
me?
can get a hold of you and follow you.
I think the easiest thing for everybody would be to go to the website and request to make contact. My personal email address is dennis.higgs@austin.gold. But if that's too easy, difficult to remember, go to the website and sign in. But I do have a final comment just about uh, what we're doing and where we are. In a nutshell, you know, before we drill, I can't tell you what's in the ground and whether Austin Gold will have a discovery on the projects that we're currently working. However, we're exploring for very large gold deposits in areas known for hosting very large gold deposits. And of course, the prize is potentially worth billions of dollars. And I think you had a recent lottery in the US where there was $1 billion prize, the Powerball and the Powerball lotteries. And there's always a lot of people buying the tickets with potentially only one winner. With potential $1 billion prize at Austin Gold, if we have a discovery, of course, all shareholders are potential winners. And a simple statement I make is you can't win the lottery if you don't have a ticket. So that's my final comment.
All right, Dennis, thanks so much for your time. The information, the website, the ticker symbol, all that will be below the interview. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And for interviews like this, continue to follow the story on the website as well as our channel. But thanks for listening. Dennis, thank you so much for your time.
Steve, thank you.